Get out of US. Tone-deaf Harry becomes a farce for wading into US politics again at empty UN. Prince Harry has again waded into US politics as he blasted the rolling back of constitutional rights during his keynote speech at the UN General Assembly for Nelson Mandela Day, in New York City. The Duke of Sussex launched a thinly veiled attack on the Supreme Court's Roe v. Wade ruling last month that handed abortion rights back to individual states. The 37-year-old claimed it was part of a global assault on democracy and freedom, as he also cited Russia's brutal invasion of Ukraine among problems facing the world. The comments, heard by a mostly empty room at the United Nations on Monday morning, were the latest broadside at US politicians. It comes after his wife Meghan told how the Duke had a guttural reaction to the Supreme Court's bombshell overturning of Roe v. Wade last month. Elsewhere in Harry's speech, he said, Meghan and Harry arrived hand in hand ahead of his speech to delegates on climate change and poverty during the 2-hour meeting at the UN. It marks the first time the couple have been seen in public since jetting to the UK to celebrate the Queen's Platinum Jubilee last month, where they kept a low profile. Despite the event meant to be in celebration of Nelson Mandela Day, the Prince launched an attack on American politics during his keynote speech. He said, "This has been a painful year in a painful decade. We are living through a pandemic that continues to ravage communities in every corner of the globe. Climate change wreaking havoc on our planet, with most vulnerable suffering most of all. The few weaponizing lies and disinformation at the expense of the many. And from the horrific war in Ukraine to the rolling back of constitutional right in the US, we are witnessing a global assault on democracy and freedom, the cause of Mandela's life." Many royal fans commented after Harry's speech. One said, "What on earth does he know about poverty?" One fan commented, "Flies in a private jet, no doubt. So he's gonna fix poverty and climate change by setting the best example." One more added, "People are laughing at you, Harry. You appear to be extremely tone-deaf." It is not the first time the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have waded into American politics, finding themselves in hot water after commenting on the US election. During a Time 100 video in September 2020, they called on American voters to reject hate speech, misinformation and online negativity in the most important election of our life. Members of the royal family are supposed to be politically neutral. When they stepped back from their roles, the Sussexes vowed that everything they do will uphold the values of Her Majesty. Prince Harry went on to say a photograph of his mother Princess Diana meeting Nelson Mandela remains on his wall and his heart. He said his mother's joy and playfulness can be seen in the photograph, taken in Cape Town in March 1997, just 5 months before her tragic death. Addressing the UN, Harry said, "For me there is one photo in particular that stands out. On my wall and in my heart every day is an image of my mother and Mandela meeting in Cape Town in 1987. It was presented to me by the late Archbishop Desmond Tutu, whose friendship and inspiration were their own treasured gift. My wife and I had the honor of introducing our 4-month-old son to him in 2019. But when I first looked at the photo, straight away what jumped out was the joy on my mother's face. The playfulness, cheekiness even, the pure delight to be in communion with another soul so committed to serving humanity. Then I looked at Mandela. Here was a man with the weight of the world on his shoulders, asked to heal his country from the wreckage of its past and transform it for the future. A man who had endured the very worst of humanity, vicious racism and state-sponsored brutality. A man who had lost 27 years with his children and family that he would never get back.